Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and 3rd pick in the 2018 draft.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
One thing for us to keep in mind and remember, they're coming off of their open week last week. They got to sit home and relax a little bit before the final stretch of the season. They got the lucky draw because every team in the league wants to have that open week later in the year rather than early. They benefited.
From the 27, Darnold. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On second down, a run with Breida. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Let him go by a little too easily there.
Well, that's what we saw on film, isn't it? His head goes down oftentimes when he goes to punch, when he's trying to block. And when you do that, you can't see your target. He went right past him and made the play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Now this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is?
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. He is proving his worth defensively, getting the sack here. That comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Mike 55. Hey, eat. Get your swarm on.
Darnold off the play fake to Bell. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22.
Well, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline. And now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, in first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Quentin Williams in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Boom! Sack, baby! Sack!
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. He's going deep for Brown. And that is incomplete. Well, shame on them, Coach Davis. They went against your advice. They threw the football, and now they're backed up to punt this away.
They're actually fortunate. They went against my advice, but they didn't turn it over, right? No takeaway for the defense. They'll punt it now. They probably could have gained a few yards if they ran it, though, and helped out with field position.
Here comes Grant on the return. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. On 1st down, here's Breida. Jamal Adams coming up from his safety spot to make the play.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Now Howard. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
It was a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll set up a throw. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. A good pickup there, 26 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. All day. All day.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That's the end of the 1st quarter.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 8. And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown.
Touchdown, baby.
Devontae Parker, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows to 10-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Here's Darnold. Gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Now a 1st down carry by Bell. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
That's it,
Brings up 3rd and 6.
The first carry for Josh Adams. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. This is Breida. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. It's complete to Grant. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They go counter with Breida. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
On first down, they run with Howard. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And he finds Parker here, complete. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield. They're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Here we go. Here we go. Pittsburgh. He's time to leave.
They'll look to throw here. And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown.
That's how you score.
Devontae Parker. His second TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 17-3. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Looking to throw again on second down. Darnold. This is caught by Robinson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down. They'll run it with Bell. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 11. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Check 55, Mike. Here we go, Mike.
Now a draw play. This is Bell. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration. Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
He gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. This quarterback now, only 1 pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. They'll let this go for the end zone. And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Sanders now to add the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. New York set to take the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Darnold on first down. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Darnold. He's got his man. It's Andrews. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. From the 50, it's Darnold. This is Bell on the dump off. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll kick things off with an AFC East clash in upstate New York. Buffalo hosting New England, and it's the Bills who have the lead in that one. Stephon Diggs, a touchdown reception. From there, we head down south to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And it's the visiting Minnesota Vikings who are out in front. Kirk Cousins has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This one taken just inside the 10. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again on offense. Here's Devontae Parker now. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
You better be afraid of me.
Now it's Breida. Oh, what a move. And he powers his way up past the 30. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming. Watch the safety creep.
He'll drop to throw. Now a short one to Gesicki, and he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They run with Breida. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jordan Jenkins in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Now back to throw. And this is caught. It's Parker. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 41-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. They're going to look to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mike Gesicki, but it's going to be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They run with Howard. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jordan Jenkins able to record his 5th sack of the season.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
And Robinson with a big catch.
We play to win. Let's go.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
The first down run with Bell is he'll get about 6 there. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down and 4, Darnold. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Darnold now to throw.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner. And I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Here's the Jets punter now as he's on to kick it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Returnable for Grant. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Getting set to go again on offense. Here's Devontae Parker now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run on 1st down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't. Because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Devontae Parker with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Took just 1 play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. To throw is Darnold. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Andrews. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
That last catch short the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now it's Darnold. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Darnold now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. To the air again, Darnold. This one caught by Crowder. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing again is Darnold. This will be caught at about the 5. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Again, Darnold. His pass caught at the 4. Only a yard in the completion. It's 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Darnold to throw again. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Joey Bosa in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, the pressure gets to him again.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
And the kick by Rosas is good. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Getting set to go again on offense. Here's Devontae Parker now. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right, and let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdown.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Breida, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 18.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. So that one a hold for right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Now that's a gain of 6 on the 1st down run.
At the 22.
On second down now, it's Howard, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
So that drive in total 8 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Andrews. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Let's go.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Dolphins, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Jets, it was a game they really needed as they drop back